all children reading at or above grade level at the end of third grade. I'm Jay Connor, and I'm the founder and CEO of Learning Ovations. We're an in-revenue, for-profit company presently operating in 3 states, and we have a target of operating in 10 additional states in the next year. We provide patented technology platform that significantly improves all students' reading outcomes. And our reading outcomes are based on rigorous research. We've been funded by both the NIH and the U.S. Department of Education, approximately $10 million, doing 7 randomized control studies across the country to demonstrate what it takes to be able to get all kids reading at grade level at the end of third grade. Why third grade reading? Well, I think Jeb Bush really talked about it very well last night, is that if a child finishes third grade and isn't a competent reader, their likelihood of a successful life diminishes dramatically. Whether we're talking about increased participation in the criminal justice system, poverty rates, teen pregnancy rates, everything can be stemmed back in terms of what we're seeing with third grade reading. And the reason why third grade is so important is the entire educational apparatus up to third grade is focused on helping kids learn to read, focusing on supporting kids to read. But after third grade, the apparatus, the infrastructure, the focus, the curriculum, everything moves to expecting that you can read. Now we're going to use that reading to learn. And if a child isn't reading at the end of third grade, it becomes a function of behinder and behinder and behinder they get as they progress. And the statistics are grim. In the US, a third of our kids can't read, and this is based on the National Report Card. In the state of Arizona, it's 42% of our kids that can't read. And again, another third of our kids are only reading at a very basic level. The cost of this failure is dramatic, is that for an average district, the cost is upwards of $2 million a year because of higher remediation costs, higher retention costs, higher costs of instructional induced special education. That means we're spending special education dollars because we haven't helped support these kids to learn to read. And McKinsey has done a recent research to say that the cost to the economy is like we have imposed a great recession on our US economy every year because of our poor educational outcomes. The Learning Ovation solution is we use a patented, evidence-based technology to align a very fragmented system. Teaching kids to read is tough. There's a lot of moving parts, very complex. Some schools and districts have invested in part of the system, some have invested in other parts of the system. But what's at the center of this is individualizing instruction, realizing that kids walk into that classroom door with a broad range of capabilities and skills. And we have to be able to instruct to those capabilities and skills. However, when teachers are asked, is individualizing instruction the right way to go? Almost unanimously, they say, yes, of course. The research shows that's the right way to go. Last year, Fordham Institute has a research study that asked teachers, are you individualizing? And 85 to 95% of them say it's practically impossible to do in a general education classroom. Those are the huge gaps. Individualizing instruction is the way to go. We can't do it. We fill that gap. What we do is we take all of those movable parts and use the assessment at the very beginning of the year to drive our algorithms to help teachers figure out how to set up their classroom, help teachers figure out what is the right amount and type of instruction for this individual child at this given place of time. So we empower teachers to individualize within a general education classroom. And teachers realize that by using those assessments, they really are now being able to customize and deliver specifically to the children the kinds and types of instruction that they need at those critical moments. And the results are profound. Again, I mentioned those national results. Here's the national average. It's even worse if we're talking about kids in poverty or minority children. But a third of our kids can't read. Another third of our kids are just getting by. And just a third of our kids are reading at an advanced or proficient level. In our classrooms, 75%, we've doubled the number of kids reading at advanced or proficient, and we've almost eliminated those kids that can't read in terms of a percentage. The teacher and the school and the district value proposition is we're not coming in and saying blow everything up. We're saying how can we work with the existing teachers in the existing classroom and be able to deliver them kind of like a Pandora. a just-in-time recommendation in terms of how to be able to help that child be able to get to grade level. And then we have within our system progress monitoring assessments that constantly rejigger the algorithms to make sure that we're presenting to that teacher the type of instruction that will work best for that individual student. We talked about the results. The payback are profound. In the schools that we've been in, they've lowered their remediation costs, their retention costs, and their special education costs. We're completely Common Core compliant, and we provide a full data system. For those districts that already have a data system, we connect very quickly to their existing data system. For those, and we've worked with a number of them that don't have or have an insufficient data system, we represent that free of charge. We know the education market. We've been talking about that for the last couple of years. Our addressable market is the 1.5 K through 5 right now. Here's our management team. Again, there's a lot of lists of names there, from business experience to software development experience to research experience, but I think this slide tells it a little bit better. In our management team, we have 40 years of experience in terms of managing Fortune 500 companies, 20 years of experience of physically doing the research that's required to be able to get to outcomes. We've worked within classrooms, and we have experience of getting to recurring revenue. The investor proposition is that we have the exclusive IP to copyright, patent, and trademark. We have multiple sources of revenue, in recurring revenue, professional development revenue, as well as revenue that comes from our apps that are available for individual teachers. We've created significant barriers to entry, those 7 randomized control studies, as well as the patent. And this is a market that's growing at 15% per year. We're going to be demonstrating Learning Ovations product at 2:30. We hope that you join us, and I'll be available throughout the conference for a conversation. Thank you very much.